It's time for Hollywood Connections Beauty Queen Special. Now here's Dedra.
Hi everyone, this is Chat with Dedra on Hollywood Connections with Dawn Reese, and I'm excited for tonight's show. So tonight we're going to be playing different interviews that I got to do this weekend at the International Christian Film and Music Festival in Orlando, Florida. I got to be on the red carpet and just meet a bunch of actors, producers, writers, directors. It was an incredible experience. And so we're just going to listen to this first interview. His name is Jorge Diaz. Jorge Diaz is an actor, and he's in a series called Church Folks, which you can find on Tubi TV or you can find on Amazon Prime. He was really awesome to talk to, so let's go ahead and listen to Jorge Diaz.
Veronica with Hollywood Connections with Dawn Reese. I'm at the International Christian Film and Music Festival with an actor here. You're on Church Folks, and your name is Jorge?
My name is Jorge Diaz. I play Martin Cruz on the show Church Folks.
Awesome. So this series, I know, was on Amazon Prime, correct? And I got to watch it on Tubi for free. So I watched all the episodes. I loved it. I worked at a church before, and it's definitely true to all the things that happen behind the scenes. So how did you get this role, and how did you prepare for this role?
So I actually worked previously with the writer-directors Tiffany Edwards and Dion Gibson, and we had worked together on a couple different projects. And so, I mean, this business is about, who you know, plus to God be the glory of, being in a business where you can, collaborate and, make amazing projects with your friends. And when they get a new idea that's, given to them by God, it's something that's, exciting and it's a lot of fun to play. And they're like, hey, I got a job for you. I want to see if you, like this character. And I mean, it was just, it's great when you can go to work and have fun and not even call it work. So that's a blessing in itself.
Yeah, that's awesome. For those of us who don't know what Church Folks is about, can you just give us the background story of what it's about? So
Church Folks is kind of a look into the kind of, I guess you would say, kind of the makeup of your modern church. Obviously in this story, the staff at Victorious Life Ministries are kind of faced with a dilemma. And, I don't want to give too much away about the story, but you have different characters, different members of the staff who exhibit different kind of personalities that we see in the church. We see the lead pastor who is, kind of, he's been doing this for a long time. He might be a little out of date. I mean, if you look at it, Dorian Wilson does a great job of kind of bringing the comedy and bringing the fun to the scene. And Tiffany Edwards does an amazing job of kind of like bringing kind of like the reality back in. And she's very charming in the way she does it. You have some great talent, great local talent. Pastor Tommy is there from the Crossover Church. If you're familiar with some amazing films back in the house party days, Christopher Play Martin is part of the cast, and he was awesome to work with. And my character was, it's always fun when you can kind of bring a little bit of yourself into a role and just have fun. It's a little bit, it's different because, there's a script and such, but, it's great when they can, let you kind of play with the script and be a little more open and kind of just goof around a bit. But when it comes down to the premise of it, we break down the story. And that's the most important part. We show you how the story goes through, and how God is going to bring this staff, this team of people, the people who are called to be in the ministry to reach this goal, to get where they need to go. And I'm really glad you said you saw it and you enjoyed it, because it's always fun when you can do comedy and people laugh, because listen, we live in a world that is full of turmoil and a world that is not pretty on the outside, and when we can take a moment from life and enjoy ourselves and laugh, I think that means the world to a lot of people, and I'm very thankful, and to God be the glory for a show that we can kind of just take a moment and be thankful for what's going on.
Awesome. I was really inspired by church folks. I know you guys will be. Can you give us a sneak peek? I believe there's going to be a season 2, and also where we can find you on social media.
So I am on social media, Facebook, Instagram. My Instagram handle is Kingdom Voice 30. And it's just, I love to post and show what God is doing in my life on, my calling in the industry and how he's blessing me and how he's going to, propel me to further the kingdom of God through this calling. But as far as season 2, there's not much I can say other than stay tuned.
That's a great answer. We'll definitely stay tuned. Thank you so much, Jorge. It was so nice to talk to you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right, back to you, Don, in the studio.
All right, so that was Jorge Diaz. Make sure to check out Church Folks. It is on Tubi TV. You can see all the episodes for free, or you can check it out on Amazon Prime. So this next guy, I believe his name is Sekou Brown. So my mom and I were at this event having breakfast, and we just walked, and he saw that I was wearing my sash, a Miss Florida reporter at Lifetime, and he just stopped us and said, wow, you're Miss Florida reporter. And so we had a great conversation. He was really cool to talk to. He's very passionate about what he does. He's a screenwriter, and he's just, somebody that you can meet at this festival. So if you ever go to the International Christian Film Music Festival, you meet people just randomly, and you can build connections. So that's what, Hollywood Connections is all about, building connections in the entertainment industry and meeting awesome people like this. So let's go ahead and listen to Sekou Brown.
Veronica, Miss Florida reporter, Lifetime, here at the International Christian Music and Film Festival with Hollywood Connections with Don Reese. And I'm here with a screenwriter of Amazing Grace. Your name again?
Sekou Brown.
Sekou Brown. So how did you hear about this festival, and tell us about your movie?
Right. Well, first of all, how can you not hear about the festival? This is literally, as one person here described it, the Oscars of the Christian film community. So followed the festival for a long time. A good friend of mine had a film screened here a few years ago. He was up for some awards as well. So it's been on our radar. And just a little bit about our film, Amazing Grace. It tells the story of an unsaved couple and what happens when one person starts becoming interested in having a relationship with God, and how it just kind of rocks their relationship, right? So written from a real place. The protagonists and who you follow are these people that are virtually don't have a relationship with God. So it really gives us an understanding as believers, how to witness the mindset of people that are not believers, and but also just the powerful, amazing grace of God, and how he's trying to reach those that aren't merited favor, right? Grace is from the Greek word charis, which means unmerited favor. So if you're in a relationship with God, you don't really deserve it. Regardless of what you might think you deserve it, but God doesn't see it that way, right? So none of us truly, from a scriptural standpoint, really are deserving to be in a relationship with God, and we're fortunate. And with this film, we really wanted to show, how undeserving somebody is, and fortunately, it's being well received.
That's awesome. Is it showing today, or it already showed?
We screened it yesterday. And yeah, we're excited about it.
Are you going to release it out soon?
Absolutely. Once it does the festival run, we'll probably just run the gamut. Tubi, YouTube, Vimeo, all that stuff. You'll be able to find it on multiple platforms, right? So.
Awesome. And then I have one quick question. What advice would you give to screenwriters? Like, what made you want to be a screenwriter, especially for a faith-based type of movie?
Well, just screenwriting in general, I would say we have to tell our stories, right? We got to be very, as faith-based people, as black people, right? I'm a black screenwriter, like the importance of taking control of the narrative, right? Because if you don't tell your story, someone else is going to tell your story, and inevitably they're going to miss details. They may miss perspective. They may miss nuance, and they may not even pitch you and couch you in the right way, right, that you would want out there, right? So I think it's important as just filmmakers in general, whether you're a director, screenwriter, that if you're a believer, you're passionate about getting that story out yourself, right? And my advice to screenwriters, just whether it's faith-based or not, you say you're a writer, you should be writing. Like, what are you writing? Always, because you're not, this isn't something you can improve on by reading books, and watching seminars and all that stuff. And all of that is great, but it's like riding a bike. You got to ride the bike. You got to write. I tell her, now that I've done a couple films, you're not going to become a better director if you're not directing films. You got to go through the gamut. You're not going to become a better actor unless you act, right? Like, for real. Like, so yeah, that would be my advice to anybody in the filmmaking spectrum. Whatever you say you do, you should be doing it. And it doesn't matter. Like, I do iPhone videos of me and my daughter, you know what I mean? And it helps me, right? Like, things that I learned doing those things. I do a ton of work with my church's media team, right? All those little nuggets end up coming back when I'm doing a real project, right? So just keep busy and hone your craft.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We'll be on the lookout for Amazing Grace. All right, and back to you, Dawn, in the studio.
Awesome. So this next interview, she was so sweet. Her name is Brooklyn Whitmer. They showed a screening of an upcoming movie called Don't Say My Name, all about human trafficking and what happens to the people who are human trafficked, what happens after they get out of it. And she did an incredible job. It was her first film that she ever did. And the movie was incredible, and she was just really awesome to talk to. So let's go ahead and listen to Brooklyn Whitmer.
This is Dedra Veronica, Miss Florida Reporter Lifetime, here at the International Christian Film Music Festival. And I'm with the star of Don't Say My Name, Brooklyn Whitmer. We watched it last night. Can you just tell us how excited are you to be here and a little bit about the film?
Yes, I'm thrilled to be here. This is my second time actually at the Christian Film Festival. But yeah, it's been an incredible journey. So with the film, it's called Don't Say My Name, and it's about a young girl who was trafficked by her mother's boyfriend. And so our story, it comes to the girl was trafficked, and so we see in this movie how when she comes out of that situation, and what does that look like in her life? Like, does she find healing? Just what does that journey look like for her? Because it is so, it's just the things that was done to her is just so evil, and so how can she break through and get to feeling whole again? You know.
So I love in the movie she's struggling so much, and then everyone cheered when she found Jesus and she surrendered. What was it like for you to play this role? And how did you prepare for it?
Yeah. So. We did a lot of research. We talked to Florida abolitionist down here, and she knows some people that were rescued, and so she had a personal connection. So she told us about triggers that they might have had, and so I learned more about that and how the reaction of coming out of that was like for those that were caught in trafficking. And then, and so it was also a personal journey. I had to also dig deep inside of myself because I never was in that situation. But, it's a little bit of both. My own pain in my life as much as learning about what does it look like for them too. So,
yeah, that's awesome. The film was powerful. How did you get into acting?
Yeah, so I went through AMTC. It's a Christian conference, and it's for talent. So I walked in wanting to sing, actually, and so I was really surprised when it said, you should try acting and modeling as well, and I'm like, okay. So from then on, that was in 2015, and so from then on, I have pursued acting pretty strongly. I still sing. I'm actually in a band right now. It's called Fit Sundays. Yeah, and we raise money for an orphanage in Haiti, 100% of the profits. So, yeah, I'm doing a little bit of both. But yeah, I'm really pursuing acting professionally, really strong. So, but yeah, hopefully both would be great. So.
Awesome. I think you have an amazing career ahead of you. You were amazing in the movie. Where can we find you? Your social media?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. It's at Brooklyn Whitmer. And Brooklyn is spelled like New York, and then Whitmer is spelled Wittmer. And I'm also on Facebook, Brooklyn Whitmer Official. I'm trying to think of anything else. I think that's about it. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Brooklyn. We'll be on the lookout for Don't Say My Name. Back to you, Dawn, in the studio.
Great. So she was great to talk to. Another actress that I saw in another movie called Daniel's the Lot, that's also on Tubi. I also met her at a screening for a series called Daddy, We're Back that you can find on 24flix.com. And her name is Lindsay Mccabe. She was also really great to talk to, so you can go ahead and play that interview.
Hi, this is Dedra Veronica, Miss Florida Reporter Lifetime here at the International Christian Film Music Festival, and I'm with an actress here, Lindsay Mccabe. We just watched a series called Daddy, We're Back, and I've also seen you in Daniel's Lot, which was an incredible movie. So can you just tell us about how you got into acting and what brought you to this festival?
Sure. So I've been acting and singing since I was really little. So I did it in grade school and high school and college. And then I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. So when I moved to Florida, then I really got into film. And so thankfully, this festival is the largest independent festival in the U.S., which is awesome. So I really feel like it was where I was supposed to be in Florida, because there's so many things going on in Florida as far as, you know, the Christian acting and music industry. And so Daddy, We're Back, that TV series, I was connected to that project because of this festival. And then Daniel's Lot, I actually just showed up to an audition, and that one worked out. But there's a lot of awesome opportunities because it's warm and sunny here all the time. So I grew up in a place where it was freezing half the year. So I'm just so grateful for so many reasons to be a Florida girl now.
That's awesome. So where can we find the series Daddy, We're Back?
So it's on 24 Flicks. That's one of the places, and they're getting it distributed other places. And so we'll have to see where else it's going to be. But this was our premiere. This is the first time one of the episodes has been shown publicly. So very exciting.
Awesome. We'll be on the lookout for that. And just quickly, do you have any advice for actresses who want to be in faith-based films?
Sure. I would say get on faith-based casting, which is similar to Actors Access, but it is strictly for faith-based films. And I would just, pray and ask God where he would have you to be, because that's what happened to me. I'm a nurse in real life. Wow. And I didn't go to acting school. I didn't have any connections. Nobody in my family is into acting. So God just brought the right people to me, and I did my own research and just tried to get to know people, and so far so good.
That's awesome. That's great advice. Thank you so much. Back to you, Don, in the studio.
All right, so this next guy, he might be familiar if you see his face. His name is Bruce Marciano. He's played Jesus in so many different films. One of them is in The Encounter. I believe he's played Jesus in the Gospel According to Matthew. But he was so nice. We just saw him walking, and we stopped to take a picture and asked for a quick interview. So let's go ahead and listen to Bruce Marciano.
Hi, this is Dedra Veronica, Miss Florida Reporter Lifetime here at ICFF, and I found Bruce Marciano, who plays Jesus in a lot of different films. What has been the best part of this festival for you?
I'm tempted to make a joke. The dinner was great. No, that's not true. Just meeting young people who were where I was at when I started working in Christian films 30 years ago. People full of dreams and full of the Spirit of God and ready to make an impact on the world. And it's exciting to have the opportunity to kind of sow into that and speak into that.
That's awesome. I've definitely been affected by your films. So what's some advice that you'd give to someone who wants to be in faith-based films?
Number one, just make sure it's of the Lord, listen to the Lord, seek him with all your heart, and just simply do what he asks you to do. His plan for your life and your career is just far above and beyond what you envision for yourself. That's always him, exceedingly abundantly above and beyond. So just put all your trust in him, take it one step at a time, keep going, don't stop. The difference between failure and success is you keeping going. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much.
So nice to see you.
It's a pleasure.
Back to you down in the
Bless
studio.
All right, and this last interview, his name is Tony Rosillo. He was also in the movie Don't Say My Name, but he played the trafficker, so he played the bad guy, but he has a really nice story of what happened to him while he was on set, so you can go ahead and play actor Tony Rosillo.
Miss Florida Reporter Lifetime with Don Reese on Hollywood Connections here at the International Christian Film and Music Festival, and I just finished watching a powerful movie called Don't Say My Name. One of the actors in the movie, you played the trafficker. Your name?
Tony Rosillo.
And how did you get involved with this project, and what made you decide to play this character?
Well, actually, I was invited by a friend to go to the audition, and I think it's really important to have a good bad guy, because people really need to understand what's going on with trafficking today. I was just talking with someone else, and I said, this is the nefarious underbelly of our society today. People are not aware of it, as they should be. We don't do as much as we could do. There's no reason this needs to exist. So we need to get the awareness out there. We need to really make people understand how bad this is. And, any day it could be your daughter or son, someone you know. Every socioeconomic section of the country can be affected. So this is not a problem for one little area. This is a problem for the entire country, and we really need to have that emphasis on it. So hopefully this movie places the awareness, and then the other piece of it is hopefully it can show how someone can be redeemed from even the most heinous things. So, and that's that story of Adriana that we see in the movie. So while the bad guy is important to really to emphasize what happened to her and why she feels she can't be redeemed, through Jesus and faith and grace, we can all be redeemed through him. So
That's awesome, and I love that it's a faith-based film. And they were talking how, a lot of people who go through this, they feel like they don't have any hope, and how we're bringing Christ into it. He's our hope. He's our Redeemer. And I actually found the career that I wanted to be, which is a social worker, because of a human trafficking class I did in college. And knowing what these victims go through, it put a passion and fire in me to want to help them. So I know that this movie is going to help a lot of people. What can you say about the film, and when is it going to come out, or do you have any other upcoming projects?
I'm not sure when it's coming out yet, and I'd let the producer discuss that part, but I will say that it's already affected people. There was one lady who was in the audience in a scene who wept for about 20 minutes, and then later on she came up to me and she said, I've been trafficked. The trafficker was never brought to justice. And that I was the epitome of what he looked like up on stage. Or on camera, I was the epitome of him. And through what happened in the movie, she felt some closure for herself that she couldn't otherwise get through the legal system. And to top it all off, this lady, remember, she identifies me as the trafficker, hugs me. I still get goosebumps. I've told this story a dozen times. I get goosebumps every time. I mean, that's just one courageous lady, but it really emphasizes what you can do if you're filled with Christ and you get that redemption and the grace and everything else. So it's powerful.
That's awesome. Such awesome stories and a powerful film. Be on the lookout for Don't Say My Name, and thank you so much. Back to you, Don, in the studio.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so that's it. You can check out all the rest of the interviews. If you go to YouTube, Dedra Veronica, you can see all these interviews. Thanks so much.